right, it's working. Coming up. Microphone checker 1 2 1 2. Let me know when y'all get in here. I want to let me turn this light up real quick. All right, that's cool. D-Moss, we got D-Moss in the house.
Happened.
What's good? Let me turn this light up real quick. Hey, once you get in here, drop something in the chat. Let me know who's in here, where you're from. Live chat. What's up, little Hamza?
Hamza, what's popping?
What's good, Hamza? Hit that thumbs up for us. We're gonna get into this real quick. This is not gonna be long and drawn out.
Look at the thumbnail.
Yeah, keep it real. Hey, we're gonna talk about this. Trust me, we're gonna talk about this real quick. Let me lock the front door. I'm gonna turn this light up real quick.
Thumbnail looks like you're at the show.
What up? We got 35 people in here. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. First of all, let me know what y'all think, man. Hey, Demonology, what's good?
Demonology.
He talking about he's scared of Will Slap. He ain't scared of no Will Slap. I'm scared of that daggone demon smack the soul out of somebody.
Oh man.
But yeah,
I know Demonology wouldn't have fell for that.
Nah, Demonology would have tumbled. The Demonology would have tumbled Will Smith off the stage. Jada would have had to catch Will Smith off the stage.
Grappling.
What's good though, man? So some people think it's stage. Y'all drop. Let me see in the comments, man. What's y'all's overall? I was talking to my brother about it, and we got a variety of feelings about it because obviously we're black men. Will Smith is a black man. Chris Rock is a black man, and you got people in the community from different perspectives that have different feelings about it. But like I've been hearing like a lot of women saying, you know, that's right, like he should have did that, and he's defending her honor. And there's some men saying that same thing as well. But when you kind of take a step back from it and just look at it for what it is, you know, let's talk about this, man. I want to hear what y'all think first, though. I want to see what y'all say. Let's see. He said, "I hate black on black crime." Oops, I didn't mean to hide that. Shoot. My bad. Cooler, you can repost that.
Oh, I'm lost.
So Apollo said it's not staged. Chris Rock hit a nerve at a highly emotional time, probably in a very defensive state. David Monroe said Chris shouldn't have thrown that out there like that, but Will should have addressed it off stage. This was rehearsed. All right, how about we start with this? I'm gonna say what I would have done in this situation, how I would have handled that. Now, I don't consider myself to be a highly sensitive person. I am a person that grew up getting picked on and people talking a lot of stuff, and people joking all the time about stuff that could really hurt your feelings and stuff like that. The way I would have handled it, if I was really upset as Will Smith was upset, somebody said a joke. His job is to say jokes as a comedian. I've been to comedy shows. I know Will Smith been to comedy shows. Comedians will talk about you if you're in their eyes distance.
Right.
They'll say something about you. People that know you or hear about you will say stuff about you and crack jokes about you and say stuff to get under your skin. It's almost like being a YouTuber too.
Yeah.
Like people will say stuff in the comments and try to get under my skin, but I don't really walk around slapping people unless somebody was trying to slap me.
Right.
But the way I would have handled that, if I got that mad to the point where I want to go up on stage and address it at that point in time, I would have walked up on stage. I would have grabbed Chris Rock by the hand, like a man to man, like a handshake, and then pulled him over. Or I would have grabbed him by his arm and pulled him over and leaned in and said, "Yo, that's enough. Like, I'm gonna tell you this last time, we're not gonna do this anymore. And if you want to continue that, then we're gonna take it offline." But I wouldn't have went in and just walked up on stage knowing who the audience is. And I'm not just saying because it was probably a predominantly white audience or it was an international audience. I'm saying you got kids watching this. You got young men watching this. You got men that look like you watching this. You got men that don't look like you watching this. You got people all over the world. Like when I went to Japan, Will Smith should know this.
Oh yeah.
When I went to Japan, let me tell y'all something. When I went to Japan as a young man for work, and I turned on the television in Japan, the only black people you saw on TV, on any show, on like 100 channels of TV when I was in Japan, like an international place, right? The only American black people you saw on TV were people on cops, were blacks on cops doing violent crimes and getting arrested and dealing with the cops. That's the only black people I saw on TV when I was in Japan. And I had to go to work in Japan. I had to get on the subway in Japan. I had people looking at me in Japan, wondering who I am and what I'm going to do if I'm dangerous, because the only perception they had of a black dude was what they saw on TV and cops. So the reason I say this is that knowing who's watching this huge award ceremony, knowing who's watching that, you let a joke that wasn't even really it
wasn't even deep, crazy like that. Like,
G.I. Jane joke. Now, okay, you could be sensitive, like, yo, my wife's not feeling that.
Right.
She's got this situation. So that's where you go and say, yo, listen, bro, this is not the time.
Right.
But instead you choose to go and do something violent as a representation of yourself and of your family, of your race, of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and some people might say that, oh, okay, you shouldn't put all that on Will, you know, like he doesn't have to be a role model and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't change the fact that necessarily you are, and repercussions come behind that. And you still have to teach your, acknowledge that, you're trying to teach your kids, hopefully, how to respond and situate. But anyway, go ahead with what you're saying.
No, man, I just think, like, when you make a move like that, maybe what he's thinking is he's standing up for his wife and he's had enough, and so he's going to stand up for his wife. But how do you stand up for your wife? You stand up for your wife by going up and smacking somebody on stage at a national ceremony where everybody is seeing you and getting an impression of you and people like you. So you're going to go up there and smack somebody for saying a joke, and that's what kind of jokes they do. Them jokes all the time, bro.
Yeah.
So my thing is, he could have addressed it. He could have checked Chris Rock, but when you go up there and you take it from somebody talking and chit chatting about you, like some people say, what do they say? He would have looked weak if he didn't do anything or something like that. You look weak when you let somebody say some words and some jokes about you that you get sensitive about, and you got to react by punching somebody or slapping somebody. That looks weak because you can't take a joke, or you're sensitive about something. And like I said, maybe because of their family situation, he felt the need to address it. But there's a way you can address that in a masculine way, in a serious way, in a timely way, like right at that point in time, without going up and smacking somebody.
Yeah, and the cost that you have to pay. Now, what it might mean to Will's pockets to do something like that, maybe that's negligible for somebody at his status, where he doesn't have to think about the effect economically for himself or his family. But there are other costs that come as a result of that action. And especially when you fall into the narrative of being hyper reactive and throw all caution to the wind and just react in the moment, that goes with a very established narrative about Black people where that part is concerned. And,
it's like a stereotype.
Yeah,
like
you completely fed into it. And it's like you did not consider. We need to pause in these kind of moments to consider nuance, and how to handle stuff instead of just being hyper reactive.
Right. So every time somebody says something to get under your skin, that's the criticism.
If that's the case, go to jail every time something happens.
Yeah, we're just gonna go around smacking people or reacting violently or physically every time somebody says a joke about us or our wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit that thumbs up for me, man. Hit that thumbs up for me. I don't know if they got a thumbs down, but y'all can hit thumbs down too if you don't agree. But who thinks? I want to see somebody in the comment make a point where you think Will Smith should have slapped Chris Rock at that time. Like, who thinks that Will Smith should have done that, and why do you think that? Because my thing, this is definitely beyond black people, but for me, this is why. Let me give you an example. What do y'all think would have happened? We got this international stage where everybody's watching this live ceremony, right? One of the biggest actors of all time, Will Smith, on there, right? Chris Rock, one of the biggest comedians, gets up there. Now, let's say it wasn't Chris Rock that said the joke. Let's say it was who's a pretty white woman?
Scarlett Johansson.
Or that's funny. Like,
okay.
Scarlett Johansson. Let's just pick in your mind. Let's say it was a pretty white woman that said a joke about the G.I. Jane thing, the same thing that Chris Rock said, and she was the award show ceremony host, and she said the joke, and Will Smith didn't like it, his wife didn't like it, and Will Smith went up on stage and smacked the white lady, right? Let's imagine that happened because he didn't like it. So some people, so you think it's okay. So for those of you that might have think this is okay, right? It's okay for him to smack the black dude, Chris Rock, or a man, whether or not he's black or not. Yeah. But it's a man. But you could put Adam Sandler in his place. If Adam Sandler said a joke, would Will Smith have gone up there and smacked Adam Sandler? I'm of the thought that maybe he would have. But what do you think would happen? You know what I'm saying? And if it was a woman, what do you think would happen? Would it have been okay for Will Smith because he didn't like what she said, the joke? Would it be okay for Will Smith to defend his wife's honor by going up and smacking the woman for saying something that he didn't like? No, but it's not okay if it's a man or a woman of any race or whatever for you to go around because you didn't like a joke that somebody said or you didn't like a criticism somebody said, that you're going to go around and smacking people for saying stuff out of their mouth. Now, I'm of the thought that if somebody threatens to smack you or somebody threatens to smack your wife or somebody does smack you or your wife, then okay, you got to defend yourself and let the smackings commence.
Right.
But for somebody saying something, man, it's just a really bad look.
And then on top of that, like it's layered, obviously, but we're talking about, okay, it'd be different if we were talking about like angelic wife who was just the ideal wife. And I'm not here, I don't want to slight and get into people's personal business is their personal business. In this situation, this is a public couple, and a lot of the stuff that they've been through is known in public. So considering that, like, this is a person, his wife, from what I've seen, is a person who she's not as like concerned about Will's persona in public, how he's received publicly, and she doesn't bite her tongue when it comes down to defending his honor. She puts all kind of crazy stuff out there about their relationship and her behavior, and where defending someone's honor is concerned. Like,
check this out. So Josh Perkins said that's been brewing since 2016. Yeah. From a white perspective, he deserved it. It's not okay to go violence first, but sometimes it's justified. Over words, you're a public figure, you're a role model. People look to you as an example, either good or bad. And in this case, like I said, like something could be brewing for a long time, but you choose to. I don't know, man.
Because that's what that is. When you get down to it and have to consider it, it sets a precedence. And because we understand that it's sort of a blended issue where there's quote unquote no absolute right or wrong. Like, look at it from a very basic standpoint. If that's the precedence we want to set, and people are to follow that precedence, what is that doing? Versus an approach that says, take a more sensible approach. You can be aggressive in other ways. And if it's going to culminate in violence, it can still culminate in violence if you want it to go that way. So, but the idea is that hopefully we learn to exhaust other means so that we don't fall into these narratives, and so we don't make stupid decisions. Like, one, it's illegal. You can go to jail over it. You can get sued. You put your family at risk. And I don't know what he thought doing this was going to do to quiet the to sort of quiet the issues. If people are talking smack about you and your wife right before that, now you done threw gasoline on the fire.
Bro, it's just not,
so
it's terrible.
And your kids are gonna get pulled into the fray. Now they got that much more to deal with. And it could have been done quietly and had some kind of genuine effect.
Look at here's a comment from SB Vlog. It says, I don't agree with Will's actions, but I think it was necessary. The joke was about his wife going bald. For a woman losing hair, to joke like that can cause serious. Okay, so that's my thing about it. Like, if the joke was in bad taste, let Chris Rock be in bad taste. Let Chris Rock suffer the consequences of saying a bad taste joke. You, as a man, if you want to check Chris Rock, you can check Chris Rock. You can be like, you can step to Chris Rock and say, look, and even like I said, he could have went up there in real time on the stage, went up to the dude, pulled him close to him, and told him what he needed to tell him, and gave him that opportunity that, okay, and if you don't respect me and my wife, then we're gonna have something.
And the message would have been sent.
Like, yeah, like
when you'd have took that, like, oh, he just got checked.
He could have dealt with it just like that, right? He would have been a man. He would have stood up for his wife. He would have checked Chris Rock, and then they could have dealt with it. If Chris Rock kept going with it, he could have dealt with it behind the scenes, right? Not up on stage smacking people. But when you get to the point where you think it's necessary because the joke hit a nerve, it was a joke and bad taste. Now what he just did was he just made himself look weak. He just made himself look like somebody that has no control over their emotions and their reactions to stuff, and he's willing to risk it all and throw it all away to get violent.
And
with
that's
somebody.
The danger of the example right there. So that you're willing to throw stuff away and just.
So like I said, he could have dealt with that. Differently, man. And it is sad, like to see that kind of a situation happen. Anybody else? Like I said, all you gotta do is put different people in that situation and scenario, and then ask yourself, is it okay? Because if you put a different person on the stage that's not Chris Rock,
yeah,
and then Will Smith goes and smacks that person, depending on who that person is, he might have got escorted out quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's look at some of these other comments real quick. By Solelli Vault, Big Biselsi Vault said words don't equal violence. I'm of that same school, man. People used to talk about me when I grew up, man. People used to talk about me on my clothes. We used to talk about each other. Me and my friends, we used to crack jokes all day down to the core. I mean, nobody really was saying anything about nobody's mama and stuff, but you have your mama jokes. And I've never felt like nobody knows my mom well enough to say something that's gonna get under my skin about some of your mama jokes. And even if they did, it's like
you let them be in poor taste. If you're not touching me.
Yeah, and if anything, I'm gonna think of something to come back with at that same level. But I'm not like, oh, we getting ready to
escalate it to this.
I just don't feel like, for me, I don't know. It seems like that's way more weak, like emotionally, where you got to get. Now, here's another observation I made. When Will Smith went up there and smacked Chris Rock, when he walked off stage, he had a smirk on his face. When Chris Rock said the joke, he laughed. If Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, walked off the stage with a smirk, and had just sat down and didn't say anything, he actually could have got away with that.
Yeah.
And we might not have been talking about it. We might have been talking about, was it real or not?
Yeah.
But the fact that he was like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Lost it, bro. You lost it, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't know. For me personally, problem I have with it is you just met in the stereotype of what other people outside of our like black people, right? I'm talking about my perspective as a black man. You got other people thinking that we can't control ourselves and we got to resort to violence over somebody saying some jokes and some words that we might get sensitive and want to smack people and start punching people and wilding out. You know what I'm saying?
And who genuinely feels like that resolves something?
It made him look worse.
Yeah, is there any feeling like all the people reacting to it, who feels like that really resolves something? Like that's going to stop people talking about you and your wife and your family. You're going to hear about this for the rest of your life.
He just marred his legacy.
Like, come on. And like the reactions to it were crazy. People were cheering for it and clapping. For him receiving. Where was security?
Okay, so Adrian O'Kingsley said, let me pin this one. Adrian O'Kingsley said, this is what happens when comedians start saying jokes that shouldn't be said. Dude, they're comedians, bro. Like, who's to say what they should say and what they shouldn't say, what they think is funny and what they don't think is funny? It's like, I don't know. Like for me personally, let me give y'all a good one, right? Let's say there's a white comedian, and what was the dude from Seinfeld?
The guy who was racist?
Yeah, he was saying nigger, right? He was saying
yeah.
So my thing is, if a white person is saying some jokes or even being serious, and they call me the N-word, or they joke about some N-word stuff, and they're racist or whatever, my thing about it is, especially on a public stage, my thing about it is that makes them look stupid, like the N-word. That makes them look like a stupid N-word more than it would the person that they're calling that. Because I'm secure enough in myself where you can call me anything you want.
Yeah.
You can call me anything you want. Now, I might get upset. Like I have a son that's autistic. Somebody starts saying some stuff about my son. I might get mad enough to slap the ish out of somebody, right? I might really get that mad. But my thing is, especially on a public stage, I'm not going to resort to violence as my reaction and confirm everybody's stereotype that, you know what I'm saying? I still may have to check you. I still may have to say something. I still may have to get in your personal space. But to get up and smack somebody and get violent like that off of some words and jokes, even though I have a sensitivity like my son, like I said, my son is autistic. My son can't talk. People might laugh at my son. People might say jokes about my son, but I don't go around hitting people. Like I said, I might be mad enough to hit somebody, but I'm not going around hitting people to make a point, right? To show like that you don't talk about someone because I might smack you. That's just not, I don't know. That's just not.
And after that, precedence is set. You got everybody coming out the woodwork who wants to bait you into some situation. Now they have an angle to come in and bait you into doing. They can lead you into anything, leading you by your emotions. So you just opened yourself up to became more vulnerable as a result of it.
They can't make a lot of money off this though.
Oh yeah, getting paid.
They could both make a lot of money. They went on Saturday Night Live and skidded this out. They will make a ton of
Netflix
money.
Hitting up Chris Rock right now. Like, let's get it.
One Mike said he's gonna try to egg me on. He said, "Let me try. Your car is ugly as hell. Come at me, bro." So like, but that's like a good example. It's like for me, I could laugh at something. Will Smith laughed at the joke
right.
that he said, but I guess when he saw his wife or whatever, he got salty about it.
I definitely think that this is a buildup. You know, I saw when Will Smith came out years ago, because I had gone through a divorce, and so you go through all kind of emotions after you go through something crazy like that. And so I could sort of see, okay, Will Smith is having like going through some emotional stuff, talking about you can't make people, you're not responsible for making other people happy. I don't know if any of you guys saw those videos when he started his YouTube channel at the very, very beginning. I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely talking about some personal family stuff, because I could relate to some of the things that he was saying, but it kept spilling over into every new video he create. And even until now, it seems like he's still been on it. Then the August Alsina stuff came out, and the Red Table, all that stuff came out. So this is like years now, several years publicly of build up to this moment. And
check out this comment. Nate C said, I think that if Will and Jada would have just got up and walked out, that would have said more than slapping somebody. I agree with that. That would have said more, and it would have did more for Will Smith's point.
Yeah.
If you don't want somebody, because that would have affected not only Chris Rock, he could have got to the point where Chris Rock wouldn't have did the show. He could have got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a good point. If they had walked out and Will was getting ready to win a major award, and part of him being there was a draw for this awards thing. If they walked out, that could have did more damage to Chris Rock if he assaulted at Chris Rock than going up and slapping him. Now Will Smith made himself look like a fool, basically, and
compromised.
So that's a good point, Nate C. I agree with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to sit there and be a part of something. Whoever chose Chris Rock to be, the person, y'all hit that thumbs up for me, man. Hit the thumbs up for me. But not whoever chose Chris Rock to be the MC or whatever, maybe they'll think twice about it next time, because you got Will Smith and them walking out.
And even contextually, like, you show up to the Academy Awards, any number of the hosts that have done it before are going to roast all the people in the front rows, and contextually, it's like a little bit of a roast, So it's not that they didn't expect that might happen at that event. So that makes it even worse. Like, y'all could have predicted that they would have said something crazy about one of you guys there. And Jada, you're sort of lucky that he even said anything about you. Because as far as, I don't want to get off into that, but come on, man.
That was pretty weak. So now I just want to I wanted to get my thoughts out on this subject. My thing is, like, my channel, I don't really get into race a whole lot and like racial issues and stuff, but something like this from a black man's perspective, to see Will Smith as a role model and an example that a lot of non-black people look at. And then you got Chris Rock, he's funny, people love him and stuff, of all races up there saying jokes. Maybe a joke hit a nerve. And the way you respond and react to it is by getting violent. Is just a terrible look for somebody that looks like me. So because now you got people with all his talent, right? As a musician, artist, actor, I can act a little bit. I can rap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I could get mad enough to smack somebody, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want people, when they see me walking down the street, or they see me in a board meeting, or they see me doing a business deal or whatever, I don't want them to think that I have, because they see Will Smith, you know what I'm saying?
Or they see your kids, that the cops pull out quicker on your kids because of stuff like that.
Because you might get violent, and you just confirm that now people thinking, yep, I told you. Now, a lot of people saying, well, I don't care what white people think and this, that. Man, it's not just white people, though. It's kids. It's little kids watching stuff like this that think if somebody says something that you don't like, you should go smack them.
Yeah.
Bro, no. If somebody says something you don't like, you either don't deal with them, you check them and say, hey, I'm not feeling like that, and here's what the consequences will be and how we're going to deal with it. But you'll respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you don't have to. But getting up, smacking somebody for saying some jokes about you or your wife or somebody like that,
it sort of belies how people are more violent towards things they're more familiar with.
That's what I said. Like,
so seeing a black face too, and this is just plain beans, like talking in plain beans. Like, it's not about racism in this per se, but it's definitely a factor when you see it through the lens and historical context when you're a black person. Like, you see a black face, in some cases, people might be more prone to go enact act out some form of violence against a black face because they're familiar.
Right. But let it be somebody that don't look like them.
Yeah, and they've been told on all the shows, okay, they're less than, so I can do stuff to them.
Because if it had been somebody else that didn't look, that maybe was female, and
Wouldn't have done it. Yeah.
If he did that, y'all think he would have sat right back down in the front row?
Nah, he'd have got hustled.
So why is it
tackled.
okay? So then why is it okay for him to go smack Chris Rock?
Yeah, and Chris Rock is like beloved in the community too, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
So like, come on. And then his frame. Look at you smacking Pookie from New Jack City, bro.
So let me, and I have friends and I have other people that think like because it's his wife, like if somebody's talking about my wife, right. I'm gonna smack him because you're not supposed to do that. Okay, like if you're on some street stuff and you're in the street, if you feel like you have to do that in a closed situation or whatever, okay, maybe that's not as bad because not so many people, you're not setting an example or precedence like that beyond that person you're dealing with.
Right.
But we're talking about the international stage. You representing you, your family, your kids.
And most people can't fathom being at those kind of heights. Be a mayor of a city. Just be a mayor of a city. And you can sort of understand you have to operate at a different level. Just be a school board member. But we're talking about the biggest star in the world, highest paid actor in the world. And
that's my thing. I'm just trying to imagine like if somebody was to be like disrespecting talking about my son, for example, right? That's why I think of my kids. I love my kids more than anything, right? Talking about my son or something like that. I just wouldn't support it. Like my thing is like people I might tell you like stop, don't disrespect my son because we're gonna have a problem. I might get upset and I might smack the ish out of you, right? But I'm not trying to do that as my first reaction, first of all. Second of all, I'm trying to think if the person kept using words, the more somebody would use words and jokes, the more I would know they're trying to get under my skin. Mm-hmm. The other thing, the more I would look at it, was like, that's a weak person. Yeah. They're just weak.
Yeah.
So I don't even feel the need I don't even need to smack you because everybody gonna see how weak you are if you keep going after I check you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I gotta egg somebody on. Oh, I gotta say something stupid. So at that point, I feel like I wouldn't even need to really have to address it other than not being around somebody stupid like that and not supporting it.
And then he came back, said he's trying to be a vessel of love.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just don't condone people getting in their feelings to the point where you feel like, especially like if somebody said if it had been The Rock that made that joke, would Will Smith have went and smacked The Rock? I don't think so. I don't think so. That would have went to celebrity boxing.
Who thinks he would have went up and tried to smack The Rock?
Yeah, I can't really see that. So that makes you wonder, like, okay, is he just doing that to flex? But I don't know, man. That's my thoughts on it, y'all. Appreciate y'all jumping in on this live. And I don't condone violence. I don't condone people being insensitive as well. But at the same time, a comedian is a comedian. You go to a comedy show, they can go in on you at a comedy show. It happens.
Yeah.
And are you going to be sensitive? Then don't go to the comedy show. You're going to be sensitive about it. So I don't know, man. That's my thoughts on it. People can disagree, and I'm not going to smack you if you disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another example. Like, oh, you disagree with me, you're gonna get mad. We're gonna get mad and start smacking each other because we disagree. No, like that's the same thing to me. I'm not gonna get bent out of shape if you have a different opinion than I do. You know what I'm saying? Or you say something about, man, I'll tell you, I don't know, maybe I'm insensitive because so many people talked about me when I was like in fourth grade and stuff like that.
Think about the skin he should have developed.
I ain't gonna lie though, after I ain't gonna lie. Okay, let me check myself. After third grade, after fourth grade, where I got picked on a whole lot. No, I'll give myself credit. Fifth grade, I told myself and everybody else, I was kind of sensitive. You're not gonna start talking about me or try to punk me or anything, or we're scrapping.
Right.
But I told them before I swung on them.
Fair warning.
I told you, I said, hey, I'm not playing that. You're not gonna talk about me. You're not gonna try to punk me or anything like that. Because we're going to scrap, and I'm not talking. We're not going to talk anymore, but I'm telling you right now, this is what it is. You're not going to punk me. You're not going to talk about me. So they knew. So I'm not just going to come up and steal on you for saying something. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like he could have handled it like that. He could have pulled Chris to the side, said this is what it is, or handled it behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. That's my 2 cents on it. Love y'all. And stay tuned. Oh, and in case you're wondering where we at, Moss?
We down in Medellin, posted. I'm down here checking out my hopefully I'll be neighbors with your boy soon. But and I'm not trying to be cool before y'all start cracking jokes. I lost my other pair of glasses, so I gotta wear these prescriptions. They are prescriptions, bro. Yeah, these are my prescription joints. Warby Parker.
I thought he was trying to be cool. Say no. Now we're down here in Colombia. I'll be back with the videos. I got a video queued up from my trip to Bogota. It's pretty dope. I'm gonna show y'all some crazy, like a underground mine with some investment opportunities down there. It's crazy. So I'm gonna show y'all that. Then I'll be right back. With the videos with the cars and everything. Appreciate you guys, all your love and support, even to the haters and the trolls. Well, we're gonna get mad and stuff. I see a troll in real life for trolling me on my YouTube channel. I'm supposed to smack them. Is that what I'm supposed to do? That makes me look weak. Like I let you get under my skin to the point where I'm mad enough to smack you for being a troll. You played yourself. Like if you're a troll, you played yourself. I don't need to smack nobody. Now you come try to smack me or come try to come in my house or something stupid like that, then
no problem.
That's a different thing. But somebody saying jokes or trolling and being funny and stuff, that's fine. Like we can even talk it out. Like we can even back and forth it a little bit. But I don't think I'm gonna get mad enough to be smacking people like we can't control ourselves.
Right.
But hopefully there's some growth from it because nobody's perfect. So I'm not saying
right will off.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it's the end of his career and we shouldn't hear him out. But I am saying like he needs to kind of look at himself and his situation and why is he to the point where he wants to get physical and risk his reputation and family reputation and being a black man and what that means and how people look at us in the world. He's willing to throw all that, like, okay, what's really going on?
That's dangerous, right?
That's what's really going on. And maybe they can come together. Maybe he can apologize. Like if I did something, if I made a mistake like that, I'm gonna apologize. Yeah. But I'm also gonna say, don't talk about my wife. You can say that. You can say, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. You can say that.
Some kind of middle ground can come out of this.
But yeah, getting the pimp slap on the people and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not with it. So anyway, all the trolls, if y'all want to troll me and see if y'all can get me to smacking people, go for it. Let's see what it makes. We'll get some hits. We'll get some hits.
Go on tour.
But yeah, love y'all and appreciate you guys. And yeah, drop us some more comments if you're not watching this live. And if y'all in Colombia, holla at me. Yeah.
Peace.
Peace out. Yeah.